What's up, everybody? What's happening? Um, Welcome to the Saturday Live. Saturday morning live. Hopefully it's been a good week for everybody. I think it's pretty good for me. I don't know if my headphones are on. It's really quiet there. All right, let me get set up here. Am I live? Let's see. Am I live? And I am. Let's see how long the drag is. Yeah, it's pretty long. Usually when I log in and I do a live, I like to see how long the, what do you call that? That lag time is. So I'll raise my hand and go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, almost 7 Mississippi. That's how much lag time there is. So once I say something, it takes almost 7 Mississippis till you guys see it. So anyway, here I am. Yesterday was the first snowstorm of the year. Woo! It was intense. The first snowstorm is always super intense because, we're never quite ready for it, to be honest with you. Honestly. We've been talking about it for since August for sure. And we come up with these little plans, these things we talk about, and we build on it and build on it and build on it to get better every single year. And then even a week ago, before the forecast was showing snow on yesterday, we were still planning on it, and we were still basically I was talking to my operations manager, and I was basically saying, hey, we need to have a meeting with all the snow guys to let them know what the pay is going to be, what the hours are going to look like, what they're driving, just all those things, right? And then we're like, yeah, we got to set that up. And next thing you know, it's like we're super busy because we're still doing leaf cleanups, regular yard fall prep. We're still mowing. We're doing Christmas lights. I mean, basically, we're doing all the services. We're still doing sprinkler winterizations. I mean, it's just crazy, and we just didn't have time. And then next thing you know, the forecast says, "Hey, by the way, it's going to snow tomorrow." It's like, whoa, okay, let's get ready. And normally, I tend to, you know what? I got to do something real quick. But I tend to procrastinate on the snow, which I guess I did again this year. But normally, I procrastinate enough to where even when the snowstorm is here on the first snowstorm, it's kind of like something that we just go, okay, let's go now, now, now. But this year, just 2 days ago, when we found out it was going to snow, we already made plans. We were ready. I know it was only 2 days ahead of notice, but um, you know, my office manager's like, "All right, what's going on?" I'm like, "Okay, the snow, the snow is supposed to start with the customers have paid for the first." By the way, I got to get Niko on here. Let's see, Instagram. By the way, Niko, how do I not have your phone number, man? Hold on, let me find you here. This would be so much easier if I could just text you the link, but here it is. Man, I got to do something. 1 second. All right. Here you go. Boom. I sent you the link to sign on, so Niko's going to be hopping on here in a second. But I said, okay, regular customers or people that have prepaid for snow clearing, we told them the whole year, and even when they sign up, hey, these are for December 1st to March 1st. Those are the snow dates. Like within that time frame, we will go out and clear snow. The thing is, it snowed yesterday, which was the 24th. And so I said, all right, we're going to use this as a drill. We're going to push snow like any other day, middle of winter. Anybody that signed up, we're doing it. All residentials, 100% for sure. Yes. It's a drill. Let the customers know in an email ahead of time that this is a drill. So if we're a little behind, if we're not perfect, don't get mad. We're using this time, which is before the contracted time that we were supposed to do snow clearing, to just get our guys ready and up and at them. You know what I mean? Get ready for winter and to make sure they all see your properties and whatever. So we told the customers that in an email. Still got a complaint. You know what I mean? You can't make everybody happy, dude. It's never going to happen. But we did let everybody know that it's a drill, but we're going to take it serious. We just want to get our guys up and at them, get the trucks ready, the plows going, shovel, salt, all the whole works. We actually had salt delivered to us this week. I mean, we were ready. We were ready. We're a snow company. We are a snow company right now. That's kind of the decision we made about a year and a half ago. We said, you know what? Because of the amount of people we have to be a snow company in order to get through the winter with good workers and have them ready to go in the spring when we make our real push with customers. We got to be a snow company, or like, might as well quit. I mean, seriously. So we did it. And so last year we tried doing it, but we kind of made that decision a little too late, But I did get more plows last year to get ready for this kind of future of snow clearing that we're going to do. And we're ready this year. I mean, we have more customers this year than we did last year. And the season hasn't really officially started. I mean, it did because we actually did snow clearing, but you know what I mean? Um, so, but we signed 3 new customers yesterday. So I think that that's going to kind of be more of a theme. Like the days it snows, we're going to be on it. We're going to get new customers. The days that it snows, um, we're ramping up our marketing for snow clearing. We've never actually paid Google, I don't think, for snow clearing, and we are this year. We've already done it, and it's worked. We got new customers. Like the customers that signed up yesterday were brand new customers that don't know us. That literally they're just snow customers. So I'm really excited about that. So okay, guys. I don't know if you know this, but well, it's not like a big announcement or anything, but Niko is going to be my co-host on these lives, and I may actually throw some responsibility on him. Thumbnails, anybody? We kind of need that, and I want to see if he will take that on. I know he'll be coming on here in a second. We'll see how that goes. I'm also open to having other guests on, especially if he can't make it. But he'll be here in a second. I hope. He's the one that made this time, so if he doesn't show up, it's a little embarrassing. But we will see. So anyway, how's everybody doing out there? Damn it. I logged out of YouTube. Let me get back in. I think I saw a... Oh, shit. Ah, shit. What the... All right. There we go. Jeff's. This is the first time I've seen my sticker. Oh, cool. Yeah, there it is. Right on. Cool. Yeah, I've had it on there. I'm pretty sure I've had that on there for a long time. But yeah, I guess I got the computer on more in camera. So did I just move the camera? I feel like I did. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, Still trying to figure out a good angle for this camera. Oh, there we go. How's that? Yeah, looks the same. There we go. You guys like my Yosemite Sam? Oh wait, here we go. Holding holding two gas pump guns. Um, I have an artist of a worker who's an artist, really good artist, man. I mean, good. And I was like, you know what? I need a painting in my office. And I just kind of feel like I needed something to do with gas. I don't know. You know what I mean? I know it sounds horrible for the environment, but I just felt like I needed something like that. So I approached him and I'm like, hey, man, I would love to have like a painting that has something to do with gas, but like with some kind of like animated character, you know. I was thinking for some reason Daffy Duck. I was like, you know, because Daffy Duck to me seems like, you know, kind of like a duck that was maybe trapped in the oil ocean, you know, when that thing, whatever Exxon Mobil, I don't know if it was Exxon, but something, you know, spilled and all the ducks were full of oil. I just kind of feel like that reminds me of Daffy Duck. And I was thinking maybe I want him to hold gas pumps. I know it sounds twisted and horrible, right? I mean, what? I don't even know. But that's kind of what was kind of inspiring me to have some kind of painting like that. So anyway, I approached it to him, and he said, you know, he kind of sees like you know a character like Yosemite Sam, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. Now I don't even remember ever seeing an actual. I know who Yosemite Sam is, but I never actually like remember seeing like a skit with him. You know, I don't even know what he sounds like. I don't think. Um, and I still haven't checked. I probably should, but anyway, he did a sketch for me really fast. I mean, I'm talking like he went back to his car. I thought he was getting ready for work. He comes back like 5 minutes later and he's like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And he kind of sketched this out like on a sheet of paper like really quick, just so I can get the idea. And I was like, "Yeah, I like that." And he was like, "Yeah, Um, I'll put these gas tanks, one mix and one gas, kind of the colors that we have on our trucks." And I was like, "Sounds great." And then he gave it to me, and then I was just like super impressed. So this guy has a bunch of drawings, and he's really good. We have like some weird factory across the street that is I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's loud and it looks like one of those just industrial like factories with a big old like giant tunnel that goes up in the sky and then smoke on the top. You know what I mean? It's really weird. I have no idea what they do, but they control the train. There's a train track in front of it, and the train track goes about 1 mile, I want to say 1 mile east, and then I literally don't know how far. I think it's only like 1 mile, maybe 2 miles. Maybe it go. No, no, the train track goes really far. Train track doesn't end on both sides. It's just that you rarely see them. You rarely see a train around here, but they have one there, and every once in a while it'll go. It doesn't go very far, but then it parks back. It parks there again. It's so weird. It's kind of cool. I don't know what the company does, but my artist, I call him my artist. He's my worker, who's also an artist. Um, he drew it. He drew that factory thing or whatever the hell it is. He drew it, and it looks like you took a picture of it, but like did it like in kind of like a pencil format. And he said, "Hey, can I hold this in the office while I go to work today?" And I said, "Yeah." And I looked at it. Wow, dude, that's the place across the street. He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to take it to them today and see if they want to buy it." And I was like, holy shit, that's genius. That's genius. I'm like, because if that was my business, I would buy it. You have to buy it. It's freaking amazing. It's your business, and somebody actually drew it. So I don't know. I never asked him if he sold it. I'm kind of curious, but anyway, he came back after work and he picked up his painting or drawing, and then I don't know, he took it and that's when I thought, you know what, I need a drawing. I want one, dude. Okay, Nico's trying to hop on. Let's see what this says. Welcome to live chat. Guard your privacy. Blah blah blah. This is the first time. Okay. Um. All right. Let me try it again, Nico. Sorry, bro. The owner is not responding. That's weird. Um. All right. Let me find you one more time. Okay. Again, we're gonna have Nico on here. Let's, maybe it's the same. See if it's the same link. Try that, and I'm gonna try getting the link one more time. Um, just to make sure. Okay, so I'm gonna send you another one just in case that one doesn't work. But it should be the same exact one. I believe it's the same one. So let me see. Maybe I wasn't watching you when you signed on. I thought by now I'd be actually really good at this. So okay, Jeff's. So I've got to keep watching because I'm not sure if he's gonna join. We go to a Denny's to eat sometimes, and there's a guy there that Ken drew. Very good. And when my daughter is with us, usually he'll draw her something and give it to her. That's awesome. I know, man. My wife comes from a family of like artists. I don't know. That didn't sound right. Okay, they're not really artists, but there's a couple of sisters that she has that are really good artists. They can draw. They're they see art in everything they look at. You know what I'm saying? Like those are like real. Like that's the kind of mindset that some of these people that can draw really good. It's like everything they look at. It's like art to them. Um, and I'm always inspired. I mean, I went out to eat with one of them one time, and we were just at a restaurant, and we were waiting for our food, the ketchup, and just started drawing on a plate with ketchup, and it looked so freaking good. Like, just like, wow. Like you could have like, sealed it and just hung it on a wall. It was so good. And she just drew a picture of a lady, a face with ketchup, and I was just like, damn. It's like it's like a magic power, you know? It's like she didn't even mess up. How do you do that with a bottle, like one of those like plastic bottle you squeeze? I mean, it's just like everything like when she needed a thick splat to come out. I mean, she did it. How the hell do you do that? Like it's crazy. Um anyway, drawing I always wish, and I actually did draw a little bit when I was younger. I would draw comic books. I draw Spider-Man all the time, Wolverine, Deadpool, a bunch of X-Men. But I got good at it, right? It wasn't like, and I had to look at it. I have to look at it and then I can draw. I can't just freehand it without looking at it. Like I have to look at something, and then if I practice it, I can get better at it. But I could never draw something just off the top of my head. Um, Drawing, I wish I had, but the one thing that I really, really wish I could do was is sing. Man, if I could sing, dude, that would be the best. I would take singing over anything, but like real good, not like real good, like the weekend kind of sing, not like just some nice singing that some people can do. I mean, like sing good. All right, Niko, what's going on, brother? Talk to me here. I'm gonna get on Instagram. We're already 20 minutes in. What's up, dude? Is this gonna happen or no? Um, all right, let me also try. I'm gonna try putting it on here. I've done that before. Seeing if I want to see what happens if I click it. Go together. Go live together. It's currently only available on mobile devices. So yeah, are you on a cell phone, Niko, or what? Ah, shit. Let's see. All right. Well, while we're waiting on him, I'm going to let's see. Oh, what's that? So I got a message, and I'm all paranoid that it's going to be Niko asking to join. Wait for host. Not seeing you any. Not seeing you anywhere. Nope. Maybe. Add guest. Copy link. I don't know, man. We've never had this issue. I've always just done it the way I do it, right? Let me click this. Waiting for host. I mean, it seems like your phone is like thinking. Like maybe you got bad connection, bro. Um, because I'm not seeing any kind of. Hmm. All right, give me 1 second. 1 second, guys. All right, try again. I've taken it off of Wi-Fi. You know what's cool is now I can see the battery life. I never used to be able to see that. Try it again, bro. I think it's gonna work. Um, Let me see. What do you think? You trying it? Sorry, guys. I do have a topic, by the way. I was planning on mentioning it to Niko, but it's just not happening. So, so Tarek, I got a friend online named Tarek who um, he asked me a question, and he actually said I should bring it up in the next live. Um, I'm just like real All right, Nico. Okay, so the topic. Okay, so Tarek asked me, what do I think about just going to, or not me, but like the thought of just going to one service, like fertilizing, instead of all these services that we do. What do I think of that? Um, by the way, this light is kind of bugging me. Sorry. All right, keep moving. Sorry. Um, by the way, I'm still waiting on Niko. It's so annoying. So the topic is, what do you think of going into just one service, or what do I think of other people doing that, or is that a good idea? First of all, what do you guys think? But um, I think it's not a bad idea for sure. It's not a bad idea. It's just like anything else, right? You want to do one service, two, three, four, five, six, eight, 10. Do what you got to do. Like, do what you want to do. But let me just kind of tell you. First of all, I'm kind of like I'm an organizer. I like to be organized. Um, Basically, you throw a bunch of chaos at me, and I like to organize it. It's just my like innate. It's what I do naturally. It's what I do like without even really trying very hard. And so that's why I like to do all these services. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel I don't ever feel overwhelmed with all the different services. I just don't. Uh, I can see how I could get overwhelmed, but I do have things in place, right? I try to have a foreman. I try to have somebody in charge, like a division manager, that can I can throw that responsibility on, and I could kind of let them be the first line of defense for that, all the customers that are involved with that. And then when they need help, I can step in, but then I can go do this other service. Um, so it feels pretty good. It feels pretty natural for me to do all kinds of services. One of the byproducts of doing more services is there's more revenue, um, especially at the beginning. That's mainly what this is all about. It's like at the very beginning, if you chose to do just fertilizing, for example, um, the amount of customers you're going to get is going to be less than somebody who offers mowing, gardens, fertilizing, all the services, just because most customers do want an easier way to deal with things, right? Like, I'll call, oh, there's dog poop in the yard. Let me call my mow guy. Oh, I need lawn fertilizing. Let me see if my mow guy does that. I also want my sprinklers fixed. Let's see if my mow guy does that. So it's an easier entry for a customer when you offer more services, and that's kind of what I like. I like that, but that's not the only reason. I mean, that's not the reason why I do multiple services. Um, all right, let me try. What can I do here? Well, Nico, it doesn't look like it's going to happen today. By the way, I don't know if anybody else is watching. If you want to click that link just to see if it works, and maybe Nico's phone isn't working or something, I'll say what's up. We'll do a quick shout out about your business, and ask you where your business is. And if you have a question, let's do it. Maybe I'll have a question for you. So I don't know if somebody could help me click that link, see if you can join. If it doesn't work, let me know, and maybe we can I'll just restart the whole thing, I guess, if it doesn't work. But at this point, we only got about 30 minutes left. So, so where was I? All right. So point of entry for a customer is a lot easier when you offer a lot of services. There's a lot of people. I think most people probably could handle more services, but they go about it kind of like the wrong way. And I'm an example of when I first started, it was like my vision immediately was right from the start was we were going to offer sprinkler repairs, mowing, fertilizing, garden cleanups. And that was basically my core, right? And then shortly after, I wanted to start doing Christmas lights. Probably after a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I say 1 or 2 years after starting, getting a lot of customers. That's when I started to do Christmas lights, and it was because a customer asked me to do Christmas lights, and I was like, "No, I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't even know where to start with that." And she's like, "Don't worry, I've been doing it, and I can teach you how to do it. It's just that my brother can't climb on the roof anymore. He hurt himself rock climbing, and so I need you to do it for me, and I'll tell you exactly how to do it." And I was like, "Well, it is something that kind of is interesting to me. I just never thought about doing it myself. But if you're willing to know that I've never done it and let me make mistakes, I'll do it because I love learning new things like that. So and she taught me how to do everything. She even taught me where to buy the lights. She did all the legwork for me. I mean, she literally went to a contracting place, acted like she worked for my business because she's trying to help me, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing. Um, she acted like she was part of my business and got them to give my company, Lawn Thumbs, a what do you call it? Contractor pricing. So she even knew how much the lights and strand were going to cost, and I had no clue what was going on. So I just let her go ahead and do it, and then they didn't let her buy it. She had to have me go to the store and do it because I still had to show some kind of paperwork, right, for the business. So I went in, gave them everything, and that's how I kind of built a relationship with the company that I now last year I spent $150,000 with. So I mean, they should be really happy for this customer. I'm happy for this customer because she got me into Christmas lights, and it's something that I really, you know, I I have a love-hate relationship with it for sure, but I'm definitely married to that service. You know what I mean? It's like it's definitely part of my services. Um, so, but that was what I wanted to do all those things right away, right away. Um, but then I found out relatively quickly that you can't really start doing all those services at the same time. It's too much for one person or two to do all those services and keep all your existing customers happy. Like it's not going to happen. Um, Not only that, it's like some of those like fertilizing requires learning how to mix, learning when to fertilize. So there's some a lot of education needed for that. That right when you first start mowing, when you don't know anything about the industry, like when I first did in 2010, I didn't know anything about mowing. I didn't even know. I just knew how to mow and kind of trim, but I didn't know anything about edging. Um, how am I going to know about fertilizing when I didn't know anything about this industry? So you kind of figure those things out as initially you're all like, yeah, we're going to do all these things. And then all of a sudden, you know, it's like a customer's asking you to do, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not really quite sure if I can do it. I don't even have the stuff to do it. So, and then there's the sprinklers, right? It's like you got to learn how to do sprinklers. I mean, not every job you get is going to be changing a simple nozzle. It's going to be, you know, fixing pipes, brakes, backflows, manifolds, backflows, valves. I mean, the list goes on and on. And it's not like you can just go ahead and do that, unless a customer knows that you have no idea what you're doing and they're going to let you mess up. So, I mean, it takes time to do that from ground up. And that's what I think a lot of people um, get discouraged with the all service thing. So the way I approached it was, I had this ambition to start the business. I basically started this business because I was going to do all those services. It wasn't like I'm just going to mow and I'm doing a business. I'm going to mow. No, I had the intent that we were going to do all these things. And then, being the naive first time in business young person thinking, oh, wait a minute. Um, you know, it takes a lot to do all this stuff. But by then I was already trying to do it. And I could see why that's overwhelming to people. Um, so then I kind of had to step back and go, all right, I want to do all these things. I know I can't do all these things at the same time right now because it's just me, maybe one other person. So how about I just focus on a couple of things? You know what I mean? I mean, right when I first started, before I had any Mo customers, I was doing full installations with somebody I knew. Um, I started doing that because I started my business and I wanted to just dive in and just do as much work as I can just to make money so that I could kind of keep on this vision that I have of someday having a pretty decent maintenance company. So I was doing those full installs and I thought there was a time where I could probably do it, but some of the things I was watching even there was like, wow. The company that I was working with, they had this guy that just knew how to use like a skid steer better than anybody I've ever seen. Um, and so he was grading the lawn that we took apart and put back together. He basically leveled it really good. And then I about 2 years after that, I happened to go back to that house as a friend. So I went into the house to have dinner, I think, with the homeowner that we did this for, and it's like one of those things where you kind of forget that you did this landscape project, and because honestly, it was like one of my first jobs ever, so I didn't really do much other than watch and help out. Right, I was just like the helper, and during that, somebody looked out the window and said, "Wow, your lawn is like perfectly." Um, it was on a slope, but it wasn't really steep. It wasn't like this. It was more like this, right? Where it's like gradually go down. But you could see, and somebody just noticed. They go, "Wow, like the ground is just super smooth all the way down. How'd you do that?" And then the guy goes, "Freddy did it." And that's when it hit me. I was like, I mean, even though I didn't really do it, I'm the one that delegated that to get done, even though it wasn't really my company, but it was my job. I was the one that sold the job. I was the one that convinced this other company to help me do it. And I said I would just help you out. But so it was just a cool feeling, but I didn't even know how to do that. So imagine like I can understand how people don't want to do many services, and not just because they don't know how to do it. I mean, there is a lot more intricacies into it, right? Like it's not like why do you want the headache? That's probably what most people are thinking. It's like I can do it if I want, but why do I want the headache? But if you're like me, um, and you don't get headaches because of all the different tasks, you get more excited, then that's probably the route you want to go. But if at any point you feel like, I can do this if I want to, but I just don't want the headache, well, then you might want to look at consolidating all your services into, one or something. Not consolidate, that's probably a bad word. Um, you know, reduce the amount of services. So for example, fertilizing, it's totally common for a fertilizing company to just fertilize, right? It's easy. It's pretty streamlined. Once you get the right people, it doesn't really take much. Want to call it supervision as far as like field supervisors. I mean, really, I mean, you could be an awesome company and have one, but if you have good techs, you don't need one. And if you've got two pumps on every truck and one goes out, you could just take it off, get the other one on. Um, Dude, there's very little maintenance on repairs for these things. I mean, I've been spraying for what? I want to say 6 years, maybe less. And I've never had a problem with my reel. I've had two reels in all the time I fertilized. I've never had one issue with that's a lie. So a hose kind of blew out right at the beginning, right at the beginning. So I had to fix the hose one time. But the reel itself, the electric never gave out on me, never caused problems. The tank, it's like pretty self-explanatory. Cleaning the filter is all you need to do every other day. So it's a pretty simple model and it could be really profitable. I mean, really profitable. The problem with the one service, I tell you, it's not like if you're into that lifestyle and that easiness and that kind of almost like absentee owner mindset, like, I want to set this business up and I want it to run itself so I can go do these other things or pursue my passion or spend my money the way I want, whatever your goal is, that's awesome. Like, dude, that's what I want to do, except I want to do it with a lot of services, but that's what I want to do. So there's nothing wrong with that mindset. So the problem is it's really hard to get, I'd say, I'm just gonna throw a number to get to 1 million in revenue with one service. Can it be done? Hell yeah, it can be done. Of course it can be done. It's just gonna take a lot of money in marketing, um, and a lot of uh, just time acquiring companies too. So I have a friend who's doing it, and he's doing it like it's awesome. He's doing it awesome, but that's what he wants. Like he's totally all about like he mindset and wants to do it that way, and that's awesome. Just like I have my mindset where I want to do all these services. I, I don't think I'm doing all these services because I think it's better that way. I do these services because it's better for my mind. Like I couldn't I feel like fulfilled trying to get all these services up and running separately, even though they're together, as if somebody else was trying to set up just one service or two, and get it as solid, streamlined as possible. I want to do that with 6 services, because snow removal, we forgot about that one too, which that was not in my plans when I first started. Um, when I first started, I actually loved the winter break. I loved it. I was pretty broke most of those winters, um, but I just loved that, you know, my bills went all the way down. As far as the business goes, I had no expenses, the early days. Now it's not cheap. It's not cheap to just keep these doors open, even if we're not doing any service, even if I had no employees to pay, it's still expensive as hell. It's almost unreal how expensive it is. And my office manager was like, "Yeah, we're gonna need this much money in just overhead bills, not overhead employees or payroll." And I was like, "Is that even possible? How?" She's like, "Dude, look at what we spend." It's like, oh my gosh. So those are the kind of things that it's like, well, it is what it. I mean, it is what it is. Um, So anyway, it costs a lot of money to do all these things. Where again, if you were focusing on one service, the amount of overhead costs are fairly low. Um, Mainly because things that cost a lot of money are, for me, are health insurance. So I still have to pay that in the wintertime. Obviously, our guys are still working in snow, but they're not bringing in a lot of money to where I can set aside. You know, I can pay everything perfectly. We're not at that level. We're close. We're close. We're getting closer than we've ever gotten. Um, we have money right now to pay for all the workers. So all the workers are going to be paid all through the winter, and that's done. That's pretty much done. That's done. Um, could be better if we get more customers. I want to pay them more, but as of right now, we have it. What we don't have is money in the bank to pay the bills. And the reason why that's the problem, which I've said in other videos before, is because we had to use that money to get through some hard times that business wise I didn't make the best decisions this year because my ambition was way too high. I had too many non-cog employees. I set up my sprinkler warehouse full of parts, and that cost $150,000. So, I didn't spend my money as wisely as I should have, because you know why? Because I was spoiled. Yep, that's the truth. I had been making good money for the past 5 years. Never had an issue. Never had an issue in those 5 years. Whatever I needed to buy, I just bought it, and never had an issue. And then this year we had issues. So it was a new world for me. I didn't know how to deal with it, but we got through it, and now we know how to deal with it. So so one of those things that we learned was to get through the winter a lot better than we've ever have. And I'm ready for this now. It's still going to be tough. It's not done. There's one aspect of it is that bills part that I just mentioned. We need to implement that, which we did in the past. Even this year, we were. It was July, I think. It was June or July, and I took 30,000. No, yeah, $30,000 from the winter fund, which was to pay the bills for now. Well, not this. Yeah, well, for no December, January, and February. That was just a portion of what we needed, but that's how much I already had in June or July, I can't remember, and that was after starting basically the last week of April, so May. So basically, in like 3 months, we had already saved that much for winter, so it was supposed to be great. Anyway, I had to take that money and make payroll for a couple of months, not months, a couple of weeks. It was more like 3 weeks till we made some big changes, and by then my winter fund was depleted, and then from there it just never got. I never saved money, because we are just trying to get through the year, you know what I mean? So we know that we still have that aspect to deal with for next year, but we know what we need to do. We learned a lot. I mean, to be able to afford to have enough money in the bank account right now to pay for all the workers for December, January, and February, I think is a huge accomplishment. I'm not like super proud. I'm proud of it, but I'm not like, sometimes you end the year and you go, man, if we would have just done this, I would be happy right now. Even though we did that, I'm not super happy. I still feel like there's other things I could have, like, if we would have done other things, I'd be happy, but we didn't do it. We had a hard year, so I can't even blame myself. So last week, that brings up this quick little topic. I'm not going to dive into it too much, but Niko asked me, why am I working out? Why did I do that or whatever? My initial reaction, to the question was to get a six pack, which is true. But the real truth behind it, and I thought about this after the live finished, was because I lost control of my business last year. Around June, July, it was like things were getting spiraling out of control, and I never felt so hopeless with my business ever. I've had times where I'm like, "Oh, what am I supposed to do here?" But I never felt like, "Holy crap, I gotta focus on this." Even with my focus and my intent on steering the ship, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Like, things were I fell off the butt. I fell off the boat, basically, and the ship was gonna hit the pier, and I couldn't do anything. That's how I felt. Um, but I took steps. I let my leadership team know that some things are happening, and here's what it is. I want you guys to know, for just so you know, that if things go really bad, at least you know I was trying to tell you guys, because I need your help. I've never been in this situation, and maybe somebody out of my top 3 or 4 top managers, we can figure something out. But here's the situation. You know what I mean? And anyway, things were getting, at least everybody was on the same page. So when things were bad, I was like, "Hey, look, this is what we got to do." And they're like, "Wow, really?" Like, "Yeah, okay, well, okay, let's get through it." Everybody was super understanding. One of the things that came out of sharing too much is, there are some people that do get worried, and they don't know how to, like, be patient, I guess is the word. Even though in their mind they were really patient, there was still a sense of fear, and I don't want to do that to anybody again. So going through this with the current team I have, I know who to tell the big problems to, and who to kind of shelter those issues from, so they don't panic. You know what I mean? Which is something that I never thought of. But you always hear, "Yeah, let's be an open book. Let's tell all the employees everything." You know what? Some employees, they don't want to know. Like, they think they do, but then when you tell them what's really happening, they get scared, and then they start looking for other things because they want security. Like, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So anyway, I learned about that, but the point is, I felt, even though we were kind of like making steps to get back on track, I still felt I had no control over it, and I kind of wanted to use my control muscle, because remember, I'm an organizer. I like to be organized, and even though I couldn't control my business, and I say that in quotes because I was controlling it, but at the same time, I wasn't. I wasn't living up to my standard for how it should be run. But I thought, I need to lose weight. So let me see if I can control that. Let me see that if I still have control, the control muscle. You know what I mean? Like, let me see if I can control myself to prove that I'm not going crazy here. So that's kind of how that started. So I started going to the gym, blah blah blah, and then next thing you know, it's like I realized, I've been going to the gym for all these months, but I'm not really seeing any results. So that's when I started eating better, and that's when I started seeing all the difference. So that's kind of why I started working out, and getting in shape, was to basically prove to myself that I could still control things around me, even though I couldn't control my business at the time. Things have gotten a lot better, and I feel like I'm back in my seat, steering the ship. But we're still like, you know, half the ship is broke from a few months ago. So, um, you know, we're making steps to get it all forward. But anyway, so I know I went off topic there a little bit, but the one thing that I've noticed when people do one service, because they want the simple, not simple. That's not the right word, because I'm downplaying it. It's They want to have a business that, basically, they want the lifestyle they want, and they don't want the stress, because why would you want it? Like, that's kind of the mentality. If you could have a profitable business, because that's the other thing. I mean, some people see, like 50, 60, maybe more percent profit, and they look at that number as way better than, a company like mine doing maybe 16%. I didn't do 16% this year. I probably spent that much in my warehouse, and I have it probably in the warehouse. but I don't actually have it in the bank. So this year was kind of like a bad year, but not bad at all. Not bad. Not all was bad. Anyway, you know, I you can make 60% of 1 million or 2 million, and that's good money. Or you can make 16% of 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, or more, and it'd be a lot of money. So I got a friend calling me, and I'm not gonna be able to take it. Don't know if you're watching me, Chris. I can't take your phone call right now. The thing is, okay, 60% of 1 million, 2 million, dude, that's incredible. That's amazing. Everybody would want to do that. Hell, if I could get a guarantee that that's how much I would make, I would do it too. The problem is to get there with one service is super hard. Super, super hard. I know guys that do, 1.5 million, 1.5 with just mowing, um, but they don't make nearly that much profit because they're not charged right. And I tell them this. I'm like, dude, you're you, I, you don't want like. I think I'm sick of hearing raise your prices, but it's the truth. Because the thing I hate more than anything is like when I would meet people who are pretty smart, very smart, and then they say, "Hey, how you doing?" Good. They don't know me. They don't know nothing about me, and they say, "Oh, I know your problem. You need to raise prices." It's like, dude, you don't even know what I'm charging. How do you know? You don't even know. So that used to always bug me. So I in turn don't like saying that to other people. The problem is with me, I actually know my numbers. I don't know them perfectly, and it's something that I'm always working on, but I have somebody that helps me with numbers because I don't know them very well. But I know that we're charging what we're charging because we looked at our numbers. We it's not, we didn't look at, oh, what are you charging over there, Bob? Oh, $60 an hour. Okay, I'm going to charge 65. No, we actually looked at what we need, and then after the break even number, we added our profit, and that's how we got our number. So so when I hear when somebody would tell me right away, "Oh, you need to raise your price," like, okay, and then so I don't like doing that to other people. The problem is, some of the people that I've talked to, they don't know those numbers like I do, and maybe that's what this person was thinking about me. You know what I mean? Um, so so that's the thing. So I kind of used to stop telling people to raise their prices, but it really is something you need to do, especially if you do 1.5 in revenue, but your percentage is like your profit is like 5%. Like, dude, that's crazy. The other issue that we have that we can have when we have a lot of services is like right now, my mowing payroll after taxes, after it comes out of my bank account and goes to the workers is 33%. That's phenomenal for me. My issue is these some of the other services that I've done that did bad, kind of the mowing has to help pay for that. Therefore, my profit gets smaller because I offer too many services. Now, this is something we're working on and we've had heated debates on. Um, and we're not, we've even talked about downsizing some of those services, but the problem was just the pricing was wrong, or just the way about doing certain things was wrong. So we're fixing that, and we're really fixing it. Like we've actually, it's going to happen. We may lose customers over it, but oh well, because if we're not making money, why are we doing it? You know what I mean? It's like we have to make money. Like that's the whole point of coming to work every day. You don't want to work 70 hours and then not make any money. It doesn't make sense. Nobody would do that. And the only way to get that up is to raise prices when you're not making money, and everything's running good. Like you got to be efficient on your things, right? You can't be making mistakes and still raise your prices to customers. That's not fair. They're going to find somebody else who's cheaper. But when you're running efficiently, really good, it makes sense. Anyway, my time is kind of running out here, but I've got some messages. I like doing mowing, small landscaping jobs, and shrub trimming. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's what customers want, that's what customers want. And then we learn from our mistakes. It's when you do the same thing wrong again, there's the problem for sure. Exactly, Eden. Thanks for that. I Yeah, I love mistakes because then you learn from them. Um, the big ones sting, and those are the ones that you remember, and that's kind of what I went through this year. Um, you know, so anyway, good way to end the message or the video. Sorry, Nico couldn't get on. I don't know what happened, brother. And I know at this point you probably had to go because this was not the time that you were able to do this. So we need to figure something out um, to have Nico on here. He's a great co-host and wasn't able to do it today. So, all right, guys, take it easy. Have a good week. Give me a topic on the next one, like we talked about today, something like that, and we will go over it. All right, guys. Talk to you later.